county. In trying to address that issue, we had some other structural issues in the ordinance itself concerning the definition of temporary uses, what qualified as a temporary use. So the farmers market issue itself is resolved with these proposed text amendments, but at the same time we felt it necessary to take care of some of the other issues that we had with definitions and with the term temporary uses in the RP district. The other thing that this would do would expand these types of uses, for example, to the B1 zoning district, where you might have somebody that wants to do the same, a similar type of use, but also to the PMUD district. And I'm thinking there specifically about Ladysmith Village. Ladysmith Village has events throughout the year as part of that community. We want to make sure that they are allowed to do those types of events as a community, and that they don't somehow run afoul of our regulations. They've had events there virtually since they first started. We just want to make sure they're covered. So really the driving force behind this is what has been a very successful farmers market in Ladysmith. We want to make sure that continues and can thrive and actually expand, but we want to clean up some of our other structural issues in the ordinance itself. We expect the Planning Commission to act on this during the month of July. Since the board does not have any meetings in July, we wanted to go ahead, bring this forward for a first reading to the board, and request that you authorize us to advertise for your August meeting. We don't want to, we understand there's some potential time, we don't want to push up to the time limit with the farmers market.
Okay, so you're really asking that we advertise for a first reading at the August 11th.
This is your first reading. We're asking that you authorize us to go to public hearing.
To go to public hearing, yes, August 11th. Okay.
Whatever the date is.
Yeah, the first meeting in August.
I would make a motion that we authorize advertisement for public hearing on for the first meeting in August.
Okay. Second. The moved and proper second that we advertise for the first reading, for the public hearing at the first meeting in August. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. That takes us to agenda item 9, discussion of increased limit options for VACORP cyber risk policy.
We've been offered additional cyber risk insurance, and I'm not. I don't think that we really are. Oh. I just wait for him to finish.
Board members.
No, that's all right. I just, we're not really. We talked with the county attorney on this. There hadn't been a lot of local government involvement in this, and of course we have insurance to cover the notices that will be required if we were to have some sort of data breach. So I'm not sure, and there hadn't been any small counties of our size that are taking these additional limits and paying the extra insurance for those, and you can see that it's about $7,500 to go to $1 million, $10,000 to go to $2 million, and $12,000 additional to go to $3 million. So we just wanted to give you an opportunity to have input on what you wanted us to do. Obviously, we haven't budgeted any of these additional insurance amounts.
Mr. Taylor, I do have some questions.
Okay.
Data breaches are daily at this point. One of the concerns is if they do actually breach our system and steal county employees' PII for personal information, do we have insurance to cover some sort of a policy that protects their whole financial record in the event that happens? Because that's what I wasn't sure about when I read this. And that is something that we are universally going through. Those with security clearances, that database has been stolen.
Oh, yeah, your information's gone. Chinese have it.
And it is of huge concern at this point, and they are now grappling, I don't know if you've seen, but they have shut down
They shut that
all of OPM down, Office of Personnel Management, to figure out how they're going to handle this data and what data has been stolen. But notification and paying for those protections that they're going to offer everybody is probably a point of contention.
But we're talking about, and in that case, it was personal data from all the people who'd ever applied for a job at the federal government or worked at the federal government.
Or had security clearance.
Or had a clearance. That's another
But if
story.
they steal your entire payroll system and all the account numbers.
But I'm thinking in our instance, this $500,000 per occurrence, what does that money do? I mean, they steal my identity. I'm going to sue you and get $500,000? Or are you going to have $500,000 to repair the damage? What's the impact?
The damage is what I'm asking about is, do we then get
Well, that's what I'm saying.
one of the protection agencies for all the county employees and pay for it for 18 months? Is that, can we afford to do that with what we're going to get? That's the question.
Like a LifeLock and all those people. that do
One
that
of
kind
those,
stuff.
right. Don't get,
But what I hear you saying is that, so, and I guess localities our size usually go along with the 500,000, which doesn't mean that we have to do that, but, you know.
But I mean, what is that money used for? That's what I'm saying. I got an insurance policy. What is it used for?
that was my question. Does it cover, you're exactly what I'm saying. But I mean,
Yeah.
do we cover the employees? Can we afford to get them the policy that would protect all that? Do we know what it would take?
Security breach notification expenses and notification expense per law, including mailings and monitoring. So we could, up to our $75,000 limit, we could buy some sort of monitoring. But I don't know what $75,000 buys you, but that's what the coverage is.
And I guess that's where I'd like to see a little bit of research is what would it cost us for the employees that we have the information for
Right.
to cover them for 18 months in the event that were to happen?
Well, right, that limit's stuck no matter what on the other coverages. The other thing is, they just sent us this since our last meeting, and they want it back for July 1. So we don't.
So we're, I mean, but so 75,000 no matter
They
what we
want it back
do.
tomorrow. Can we include the school system?
No, they do,
Sure about it, no.
we do their payroll.
They're not through our insurance.
We do their payroll, right?
But they're not through our insurance.
We do not do, we do social service payroll,
Okay, yeah.
the county, that's the two.
If that's all we're going to get, then but what I'd like us to figure out is what that would cost us. I mean, we don't need to know in a week, but I just think that number would be a number worth having and knowing what that's going to be.
I guess the thing of it is it needs to be done by tomorrow.
Well,
Can't be.
I just say take whatever the lowest one they've given us, and because 75,000 now that is the max we're going to get,
Correct. For
Yeah.
that.
no
for
matter what we
monitoring-
take.
For monitoring.
Yeah, for monitoring.
Which is-
Monitoring
But I
notices.
stole your whole, I stole your whole payroll because I hacked in. I got everybody's identification, 400 or 500 employees,
And all of their bank accounts.
and their bank account. I'm sucking all your money out of the bank before you even know it. And then you're going to give me $75,000 as a whole county? That's probably not enough money. 500,000 is not enough money if that would happen. So.
I don't know what I don't know
But
what kind of protections you
I guess-
can we just, since take the minimum on this and do research and see what it would cost us, because it's a question of when it happens. not
Can we
if.
bump up the policy at any time if we have it? Once we have a policy, which is tomorrow, tomorrow we say, yes, we have a policy. Can we, during that year, increase our coverage?
I think it's why they sent it to us. We already had this policy with these minimums. they offered us this additional coverage, but want us to take it because I guess they buy it themselves.
Yeah, they're passing it on to everybody else at the start
So I
of
don't
the
know if
fiscal
we can-
year.
Yeah, so I don't know that we'll get a new one unless we buy a separate policy different from them, because they're not really offering what he's asking for. So we'll research what the coverages are and just have to,
Because the concern I have is, we don't really know what we're getting for the 500,000.
Oh, no.
Right.
And I would hate to see us pay for coverage we already have.
that was when we sent it to Ben, we couldn't figure out if somebody sued us, you know, what that 500,000 was going to cover. You can see
Right.
what the $75,000 limits for those expenses and things are, but the overall 500,000 to million to 2 million to 3 million, we couldn't figure out what.
And it says per occurrence. So I hack into your database one time on Monday and steal everything, and then I go back on Friday and steal everything I didn't get the last time. You only get 500,000 per occurrence. Maybe that would be the thing, but it's only going to be one time when they get in.
Yeah, they,
And that's one $500,000
Right.
for everybody.
Right.
So an additional $75,000 doesn't seem to,
No.
it's like you
but
get
that's
the
not,
money
I don't
away.
think that's
Because
paying anybody.
is it your fault that I lost the $7 I got in the bank? Or is it your fault that Jeff Black lost 500,000 and he's got in the bank? Where does the money get distributed?
I don't know that it gets distributed that way anyway.
I don't think it's for damage.
I don't think it's for damages like that.
It doesn't sound like it's for damage.
So nobody's
suffered
covered
by
for
the third
damages?
party.
No.
Doesn't sound like
That's
it.
why I don't use direct deposit from here.
Well, I think it's something we need to investigate for our own knowledge.
I mean, we might ask for a copy of the actual policy. It's pretty hard to tell from the summaries.
Could we
What
ask
they're
for
covering.
a representative to come and,
I'd
And
rather
talk
have
to
talk to staff.
either staff or whatever, because it's just hard to make a decision.
I understand. We just got it and had to stick
Yeah,
it on your
I understand.
agenda. It didn't leave us a lot of time to do any research. I've got it to him, and he got it back last week to go out.
I would suggest that we not take any action, have staff to talk with someone from the company and get our questions answered. Well, it's due tomorrow, but we don't have it now, so,
Yeah, we do. We
I
have the
mean,
minimum. We
yeah,
have
we
the-
have the minimum,
We
I'm
won't-
saying, but
We'll continue to follow
the
them.
additional that we are looking at, we don't have it now. We could have gotten a breach today, as far as that was concerned. So,
Sure.
my thing is, I just don't think we have enough information to make an intelligent decision.
That was my-
So having said that, we
I don't know
will
what to do.
have staff do that. And we can come back at the August meeting with a report.
Of some sort.
Of
We may not
some
be able to
sort.
buy this.
Right.
So you're going to do the minimum?
We would do the minimum. That's
All
what
right.
our recommendation was going to be. We're going to do the minimum because we didn't understand what we were getting for the additional money. But we didn't want to do that without telling you we were doing it in case you decided, no, it's too risky, do something different.
Right.
So I guess that's sort of the best way to,
So
we
do
were
you-
going to do the minimum because we didn't understand what we were getting for the extra money.
So you need a motion?
No.
Oh, okay.
They
Let me ask
recommend
you a
it.
question.
We're good.
So you say the decision has to be made
If you'd have voted for the park, you'd have voted for
and who
you.
said
Turn the
that?
park down.
Bay Corp, the insurance company, I guess because our insurance starts tomorrow. Our new
You received
coverage,
information when?
June, after your last June meeting.
After last June, was like June the 9th, 10th, 11th,
Right,
something.
right after your last June meeting.
You don't think you could call Wayne?
We can try to find out some
with,
more information, but
Wayne Corp and just, I stepped down.
we don't have a local board member.
I'm on education.
But I think you may call
They just sent.
Wayne Caddison and just see what he says. I mean,
Yeah, we'll
maybe
check.
you just
If
give
we
us
can do it in
10 days.
August, we'll bring it back to you,
Yeah.
but
Okay, all right. That takes us to agenda item 9A, request for reduction of the water bill for Mount Calvary.
Second Mount Calvary, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Shebel has provided me, if I may, with water usage for Second Mount Calvary. In February, they used 80 gallons. In March, they used 710 gallons. In April, they used 46,050 gallons. In May, they used 170. And last year in August, or I'll use September, which is usually after their homecoming, they used 690 gallons. There is no way in the world, unless there's some sort of vandalism going on, like what happened in Mr. Underwood's district, that they used 46,000 gallons of water at a church with no big major events. They weren't having a shower park or a water park festival. So I've spoken to Mr. Schiebel. He has a policy that he can execute. We averaged the last 3. He also has a new plastic water meter I think he can use that gives us readings at every 15 minutes. So if there's a leak, we can prove it's their fault. If it's vandalism, we'll at least know a lot sooner and we won't be wasting more water. So I asked the board to give Mr. Schiebel authority to exercise the policy he has normally and would appreciate it.
You want to make that into a motion?
That is in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we would give Mr. Schiebel the authority to use the policy to address the reduction of the water bill at Second Mount Calvary. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Informational calendar items.
Mr.
I'm
Can I ask a question? I think it's dealing with the Fred here. I mean, as far as
I'm not going to be able to answer it, but go ahead.
no, I just had a citizen call me, and she called me last week, and I haven't been in touch with you, but it deals with their sites where they drop off. She was concerned because there's no place for them to go to Germanna up there on 17 or the Spotsylvania Hospital. So I was wondering, what is the process for, because we're paying big money into the Fred. I would imagine that a lot of people who use the Fred might want those as places to stop going from Caroline if we're paying that money. So is that something that you can look into as far as a place where they're going from Caroline up? Because it says it goes from Caroline, she said it goes from Caroline right up to Fred Central and doesn't stop on either one of those places, which serve us better as well.
Does it start at the hospital?
Doesn't stop at the hospital. The hospital and Germanna right there together. So,
Well, yeah, it's the hospital.
Mr. Cully will take care of that, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Okay, other,
On the information, you've already brought up Port Royal Saturday and County Fair next week, starting Wednesday, I think,
Right.
Wednesday through Saturday.
okay,
That's the only 2 things we had on for July.
okay.
Prepare for it to be really hot.
Okay, now, Mr. Black had asked that we look at August 18th, I believe you said, for our August meeting instead of August 11th.
Well, Mr. Thomas had asked if I could do the week earlier, which was the 28th. I can do either. The 28th actually of July would work.
Oh, we're going back to July?
28th would work. Mr. Thomas had asked to go to the 28th rather than the 11th. I'm fine with that, if everyone else is.
The 28th of July.
That's National Night Out.
Yeah.
The last week in July,
You're done. Okay.
Right.
You're out the 25th? You're out the 25th?
the week of the 27th, that whole week, I'm leaving on, we're going to leave on the 25th.
What about the, could we do a Monday, the 3rd? No, well, no.
August 3rd. Actually, August 3rd.
You're out the
So,
7th, 8th?
August 3rd,
Okay.
is that okay? That's okay with me.
August 3 is good with me.
Okay.
Mr. Thomas?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Then we would,
Yeah.
do we need to recess to August 3rd, or do we just need a motion? Okay, we will just give notice. Okay, a motion is in order to move the meeting to August 3rd.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
The second?
Second.
So moved and properly second that we would move the August 11th meeting to August 3rd. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Been moved and properly second that we adjourned. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Motion